song to the soundtrack of the upcoming film Jennifer's Body, which was written by me, which is why we're having conversation right now.
Exactly.
Tell me about the song.
Okay, well, the song I wrote probably about 9 months ago. I was living in Las Vegas, and it was about a dream I had about moving out to California, which is where we're living right now, and it's kind of weird. It was like a lucid dream, and I couldn't let it go, and I had never had a dream like that before, so I just had to write it down on paper, and luckily I did.
What compelled you to contribute this song to our film? So ours is a horror movie.
Yeah.
It's not about sunny new perspectives on life or anything like that.
Which is kind of weird that they asked to use the song. I had it written, and they'd only given me a synopsis of the story. I hadn't seen the screening yet, so I was just kind of writing blindly, trying to change stuff, and luckily I didn't have to change anything. They were just like, hey, yeah, we'd like to use the song. And
the song is awesome.
Thanks.
I watched the video repeatedly.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I'm very into it, and not just because I get the ego gratification of knowing that it's going to accompany images and words that were born fully formed out of my mind.
Yes. Well, I hope it did it justice.
It's a joke, by the way.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
No, that's funny. Yeah. So, I mean, how were you inspired to write the film? Because I liked it. I watched it. I've only seen it once, but the dialogue was very funny. I was
Thank you.
very impressed. And
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I've had this fascination with horror movies my entire life.
Yeah.
Wasn't really supposed to watch them. Found a way. I knew specifically who on my block had cable, so I could sneak over to their house and watch Nightmare on Elm Street 3, which
great.
remains my favorite horror movie of all time.
That's a good one.
Yeah. And so then, when I suddenly had the opportunity to write movies, I thought, I've got to do a horror movie. I wrote this one a little bit after Juno, so I was kind of still in that adolescent mindset, and here it is.
Well, it worked out great. I mean, and the music is such a big part of it. What's your involvement with the music, when you're writing it? Because it seems like, you're so savvy to a lot of the bands that you use in the films.
Yeah.
It seems like.
There's
I'm not sure, I'm just assuming.
Totally.
Oh,
But
okay, cool.
at the same time, for instance, with Juno, you got to give credit to the director. That was his vision completely in terms of the music. With this, we definitely knew we wanted a rock sound, kind of a punk sound. I don't know if you noticed the Screeching Weasel is in the movie. That's one of my favorite bands.
Oh, great.
And then, of course, you guys and Paramore, and it's a cool. It definitely, I think the movie has a more aggressive feel, and I wanted it to rock.
That's awesome.
Using rock as a verb is just horrifying, but this is a horror movie. So
I usually when I'm writing music, it's not just other music that influences me. So I wondered if when you're writing, a script or you're writing dialogue, for characters, you have characters in mind that you've already built up that was it based on music or was it based on movies or books?
The movie is called Jennifer's Body, which is a song by Hulse, and I was completely kind of obsessed with the macabre feel of that song.
Oh, yeah.
It's a creepy song, and I thought I kind of wanted to recreate that atmosphere, but cinematically.
Yeah.
That's what's so amazing. It's probably the same thing where you probably watch movies and then you want to write a song.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. It's a huge thing. When something really influences you, like a movie, and you see a certain scene, it's just I'd love to have something that engulfed that emotion that was covered in that scene. That's definitely a huge thing. Which is, I'd like to score some movies. So maybe if you want to throw a bone my way.
That's fantastic.
Fast forward to